the Bonfire, Faction Talk Sirius XM 103. Big J. Okerson, Robert Kelly gone for the week. Coming back next week. Sitting in his chair today, we got the great Mike Fenoya. We have a guest in studio, everybody. He's got a new special out right now called Problem Solved, available on youtube.com/@RyanLongComedy. It is the hilarious Ryan Long. What's up, buddy?
Great to be back in the Sirius studios. Thank you for having me, fellas.
Back in the hot seat.
Congrats on the special, dude.
Thank you, brother.
We were talking Rocky Horror Picture Show before. Did you ever go to a screening? I feel like you...
No, but I was in punk bands, and it was very adjacent.
Yeah. I would thought maybe you were a guy that, like, a couple of hot chicks could talk you into going. I could have ended up there if I was brought by, like, hot chicks who, when I was younger... Christine's boyfriend did not have that. Like, it was just him and his guy friends wanted to dress up like ladies and go throw hot dogs at a movie screen or whatever they did.
Yeah, there's a fine line between you're a horror guy, then you can get into rockabilly, and there's sort of a split, and then you go, I'm going to be this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Rockabilly is the weird. Yeah, the Stray Cats is like the line.
That's like the gateway to now I'm a horror film guy.
Do you think anyone's been in a bad movie? A straight man has been in but he's super in a Rocky Horror Picture Show, but he's straight. Mm-hmm. Just had a big argument with his chick and had to slam the door in a bedroom and go, fuck you, I'm going out. And then had to, like, sultry put on fishnet stockings and do those things where, like, you touch your thigh on the way up.
He ashed on his inner thigh.
Oops.
He goes, you know that's my choker, you whore.
You know that's been my choker.
Thursdays for the boys.
There was a moment where I got into the Bruce Campbell Evil Dead lore. Like I was probably like grade 11, smoking weed, and I was just like, oh, maybe I'm the guy that's into movies like this. You know?
That's a fun stoned moment.
You know what I mean? You're like, maybe I'm the guy who, like, you know, I'm around people and they're like Evil Dead 3, and I'm like, you don't even know about the director. That wasn't going to be the original director. You know, just having random facts about all sorts of horror shit.
That's what I do. And then when I learn them, I yell them at other people like they should have known that also. Buddy, let's not even talk about movies if you don't know the answers to who the gaffer was. You don't know the gaffer from The Shining is the same reason the sound is so good. You know what? I'm not even going to
Dude, when Bruce Campbell did Impractical Jokers, we redid some shit.
You had him on there?
Yeah, and we were at like
awesome.
they went and did like a challenge because Q's a huge fan of Evil Dead, and they did remade a scene, and he had to, like, basically they made Q's wish a punishment.
Yeah.
And he had to go into a scene, get stuck in the mud,
and
whatever.
tons of goop all over
everything,
him,
right? But they were smashing frosted glass over his head, like prop plates, and and there was a real plate in there, and they smashed it on Q's head, and it fucking gave him, like, it knocked him silly for
Dinged
a minute.
him, yeah.
But he
Welcome
had to
to
keep
the horror.
going, dude. Yeah, and he had like a big lump for the fucking, but he had to just keep going. And Campbell's watching, going, "You suck," just totally like burning him while he's doing this.
Are you a big horror guy, Ryan?
Mostly just that. And I read his biography. I was getting into
It was
him.
all Bruce Campbell?
Yeah, Bruce Campbell. And then, because it was one of those movies that I think that was like, in my opinion, the quintessential one that was so bad it was funny. And then the next one, they're like, maybe we are funny. By the third one, they're like, yeah, this is a comedy.
Yeah.
You know, like,
When I was a kid, I'll tell you, that was one of, again, like, core memory fears. And they're in movies. It's always movies, horror stuff. But one of them for sure, and I believe it's Evil Dead, the original, is the naming the cards, like the playing cards. And then you just hear the voice start getting stranger. And then the way she just turns around. This is my first time ever just seeing that face. It's almost cartoonish now, the Deadite face.
Yeah.
But when she first turned around like that, I was like, oh! Like, I didn't know we were watching. Like, I walked into a room. I think my dad was watching it with somebody, and I was like, what is this? Little cab. By the way, you see a cabin in a movie, and you're like, ooh, maybe I wandered into some boobage.
yeah.
And then she's like,
A little shot in the window.
Dude, scared the shit out of me. Michael Jackson turning in Thriller was a biggie for me.
Yep.
And Pet Sematary Sister.
What's that?
The Zelda, the sister in the movie Pet Sematary that they flash back to. You never saw that?
No, but I know what you're talking about. When that was a good place to spot titties when you were younger. You're like, no, I'm a horror guy. Specifically at around the 29-minute mark of the sequel.
Yeah. Horror titties are such great titties too.
This right here. Turn this up. This was.
And that's what she was.
By the way, I always found out when I was an adult they described this with an actual disease. She has spinal meningitis.
Peter, sometimes I hated it.
Ugh.
But I did it.
Which is a great Ween
We
song.
wanted her to die. We wished for her to be dead.
And then the end of the movie, they have her
It wasn't
like
just so
talking
she
and stuff. It's so
Yeah.
It was so we wouldn't feel any more pain. It was big balls, and I thought,
It's such a dramatic scene, though. She goes, everyone thought I was crying, but I was laughing.
You know what always got me instead of like this shit was more like the psychological shit. Like Clockwork Orange got me in like early on in Full Metal Jacket when he shoots himself in the bathroom and
No,
shit.
man,
Like that
for me-
stuff got me. I saw that on mushrooms, and that freaked me out
Yeah,
pretty
dark,
bad.
intense movies, though, again, what they always had that I was in for was a good crazy fuck scene. So those didn't wig me out. Like Clockwork Orange didn't wig me out because I drank it in completely as over-the-top nudity and violence. And then, like, well, yeah, whatever. People say it's like a weird, trippy, fucking, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it was
That's
like
why I said 2001 Space Odyssey. It's an okay movie. No tits.
no tits, no tits.
Yeah, sure, I get it. It's like some kind of
They've been going
Kubrick-
hard on dong in films and movies lately. Like Netflix shows, they turned down the titties and they turned up the dong.
Oh
They
yeah,
have turned up the dong.
lots of dong.
That is the.
And they're not fucking around with the dongs either, which is what you're gonna get because you're not gonna get a lot of guys signing up with the medium dong.
No celebrity is going to do that with a small dick. You're only going to get the biggest
You're getting
cock
hammers.
guys. And finding out the people through film has been upsetting. To me, the craziest one, never would have guessed Kevin Bacon as a fucking hammer. And then he did that movie where his dork's just hanging out. It's fantastic. Huh?
What movie is Kevin?
You know what
That's
movie
7
it was.
degrees of Kevin Bacon.
It might be in Wild Things when he's...
7 inches of Kevin
7
Bacon.
inches of Kevin Bacon. 7 Canadian bacon. A lot of fucking fat on that meat.
I mean, the guy dancing around at the end of Saltburn.
That's
Is that what it's
yeah.
called?
Who's that?
Yeah.
I forget his name.
I remember that
He's
one.
got a strange face, but it doesn't matter because he's got a huge cock.
There's some British one I was trying to watch yesterday, or like maybe 3 days ago. It was the start of a British gang show, so I'm like, this is gonna be sick. Episode 2, gay orgy, just hammers swinging,
Jesus.
and it wasn't even relevant to the plot. It was like the guy had to walk through it to get the
Yeah,
guy.
dude.
The show The Boys, very minimal female nudity, tons of cock.
That's the Seth Rogen, Judd Apatow. That's their school of thought. Because I think the culpable deniability is they're like, well, it's funnier, but you're like, okay, but the joke's been done. Now you're just putting dicks and shit.
Yeah, now you're just
Now
yeah.
you just love dick, dude.
The first one was Forgetting Sarah Marshall, wasn't it? When he showed his dick, it was like
Russell
whole
Brand
thing.
did?
No, not Russell Brand. What's his name? The
Jason Segel?
Yeah,
Jason
Jason
Segel.
He has a
Segel.
huge cock.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Wow,
Probably got a big-
I hated the way you said that.
She's like,
She thought about it. She pictured it.
she
I
did.
remember
She
this
looked,
one.
She went.
she looked
He gets
over your
broken up
head.
with
She
and he's
looked over
naked.
your head like it was Osmodiar.
She went.
He's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It went. Bring.
That's a big old.
Mm-hmm.
She went through the 7 biggest dicks in her head.
Yeah, it's like right.
She's like, he's like a 5 to a 6.
It's a nicey.
He's a tall dude. I bet he's got like a big Ari Shafir Jewish dork with a big sack of
He's
balls
also fluffed
behind
though,
it.
because it was a soft scene, which you're fluffed right up for that. I'd be juiced to the brims if I was going.
Yeah, he's sitting on a heater.
Oh yeah, dude, that guy's got a flopper. Yeah, Mr. Man. It's Mr. Skins.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Christine Marie.
It is
He's
though.
white.
It really
all it
makes up for
is.
his completely undescribable
Yeah,
blank slate of a body.
Just TV dinner
The
body.
guy's got a door.
I don't
My
think
only
he's ever
hope.
worked out a day in his life.
My only hope in the world is that it stays that thin when it gets bigger. It just gets long and thin. Because no one likes that. Dude, I wouldn't. I don't know what the price would be for me to fucking have my flopper.
I think you'd have to get creative. You go, I'm in control of the final edits. You know
Yeah,
what I
like
mean?
how far are you from the camera? What else is going on behind you? If it's just you straight away standing next to some bongos, you got to have a hanger. But if
Just-
there's like maybe a firefight or
I picture it's like a faded out, half faded out picture of my wiener with fireworks in the forefront.
in the forefront, yeah, bombs are dropping in front of it, fireworks are
Slow-mo.
going off behind it. Yeah, somehow Cher is in the moon.
Only Harvey Keitel didn't give a shit.
About his wiener.
About
Yeah.
oh yeah, he
didn't
was
have
one
a
of the
big one.
only
He's like-
famous guys that went out there with a small one.
Yeah. He's like,
Respect.
Fuck it. I'm a
Yeah.
character actor.
Sometimes guys, well, there's guys that will do that too. There's it's the give up effect. Like there's so many guys that do. I remember a kid I knew named Ramsey Moore. He was a comic out in L.A. and big guy, really really fat. He died from it ultimately, but at his memorial, I went to his memorial. And whoever was in charge of making the memorial video said they were like, yeah, no, we didn't do that. I think he wasn't even a close friend of mine, but it was definitely, I said the thing, I go, they're going to show a bunch of his acting work, and I go, well, this guy did a lot of like the I'll be the fat guy slipping sliding, or I'll be the gross
It's not funeral material.
I'll be the gross animal who's doing this with my shirt off, or look at my weird butt crack in the middle of that massive lard. And they were like, no, it's a real nice piece. They did. It was exclusively those things.
This is after the funeral video, dude.
Yeah, it was a giant urn because the ashes were a lot also.
Oh God.
The urn was like carrying a cauldron.
It was just a gravy boat. They're like, we have a crock pot of ashes. Is that him?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Poor
Oh
Randy.
wow.
How long ago did he die?
Probably like 10 years
Shit,
ago now.
maybe 10 years ago. Yeah.
I remember this
Maybe a
guy.
little more.
Huh?
I remember him, but yeah, it was he was just the fat guy in the movies.
He's been in a couple things. Yeah.
I'll tell you, this is why I'm a huge fan of Sydney Sweeney, man. She's bringing tits back, I got a feeling. Like, she's just out with it. Like, she's okay with it.
It's brilliant.
It's
She is.
somehow,
She knows.
She knows what she is.
She's bridging the gap between the dick era back to the tit era.
She's just bringing it back,
She's
dude.
cornering the market.
She really is.
I'll tell you though.
She's owning my algo, and I'm a big fan.
I'm telling you though. She's of course hot. I get it, but I hate her because of the they're just saying like she is
Too much heat.
Like she's the quintessential woman. I'm like, she's a type of girl.
Look at
Yeah.
that.
Like she's fucking hot. Who's arguing? I'm just saying like, but they're cramming her down your faces like this because like,
That's how I feel about Jason Momoa.
yes.
But yes, I
Thank
agree
you.
with what you're saying.
That's her left
Like
tit,
everyone's
Jason Momoa.
she's
Her
so
right tit is Jason Kelsey.
It was Travis Kelsey. It
Both
was
of them. I don't give a shit. I don't need him fucking slamming beers at Buffalo games on the.
Listen, she's so hot. But first of all, again, doof face bothers me. When a girl's got permanent doof face, and she does.
I've mostly dated girls with that
Doof
permanent
face?
angry face.
Angry face, I can deal with. Christine's got permanent angry face.
No, it's
Permanent
like the
doof
lips don't
face.
ever
It's the-
touch.
What's doof face?
Yeah, and she talks through her teeth.
But I say she like everything she's telling, she's like staring and like her mouth's like semi-open.
It is kind of that.
I watched her on Hot Ones. It was pretty great.
And her eyes are
I liked watching her eat wings.
You just
East
slow.
and west.
Yes.
True, yeah.
Eat that wing.
Not wrong.
I wanted to watch one full thing of her clothed.
And her eyes are
And I'm
far.
like, I could watch wings.
Her eyes are far apart too. A lot of felt between them pockets, if
Yes,
you know what I mean.
was, right, guys?
Yeah,
Right?
her eyes. Yeah, sure.
No, but I tell you, I have that. I get that ownership. I don't have that over music. I've never had it, but I've definitely had it over hot celebrity women. That if the world gets into them too much, I'm over it. That was my Pam Anderson. Pam Anderson for me is Tool time, almost brunette hair. It was so not blonde.
Yep.
And pre-tit jobs.
Yeah, early Playboy.
And then she became
You liked big tits before they were cool.
no. She didn't have big tits. She had like very average tits.
Oh, before
But then,
Pam,
right,
originating Pam.
But then, yeah, see.
That's not her hottest, though. Like, once she got some
No.
work done, it was better.
No. But I'm saying, but that's
Well, right there.
that's right there. That's the actual pictorial. That's where I was like, holy shit, she's the hottest girl ever. But then she became like the Bleach, which I was still like, she's so fucking hot. But
Baywatch Pam.
But then she became everybody's. She was like the dream girl, and I was like, oh.
yeah.
No, I go, that's the Tool Time girl. Like, she was on Tool Time. I go, how can you not know that and have her be your dream girl, dude?
Yeah, you're not an OG.
She's my dream girl because I know those facts.
But there is a difference. Pam Anderson was hot in a sea of when hotness was allowed, in a sea of hotness.
Yeah.
Sydney Sweeney, like nobody does what she does now.
No, that's what I mean.
What do
There's
you
a
mean?
You're saying it's her precious her and Gabrielle Sidibe, and then
Yeah,
Lizzo.
there's no one else.
Well, because they're on OnlyFans
She
now.
knows that Hollywood's not giving anyone what they want, and she is. And
I
God
heard.
bless her.
I heard there's a movie coming out with her and Ana de Armas getting. They have a hot, steamy relationship.
Nice
Those are
dyke
my-
out.
All right.
Yeah, those are my two favorites.
Nice.
I like Ana de Armas a lot.
Yeah, she's fine. She's very, very pretty. But
Yeah.
I'm saying like
You'd like to see a couple tattoos on there potentially.
Ana de Armas. You know what? She's
Oh,
actually
look at
she's
her,
actually
dude.
pretty.
She's fucking beautiful.
Can I tell you something? Unlike her, Ana de Armas. This is my gift I have, Ryan. I could.
She's got-
show me any smoking hot chick that would never fuck me in a million years. But
See
I'll
what's
tell you.
wrong
I'll
with
tell
her?
you why I won't
Reason
fuck
why you're gonna dump
her.
her.
I'll tell you why I won't fuck her. It looks like somebody took all of her facial features and just puts them in like that, like just on a computer program, Just put her eyes right against her nose, and then her nose right against her mouth. It's all too close, and I hate it. And she's stupid and ugly. She's dumb and ugly.
She probably has bad breath, and I hate her guts.
No, she was so hot in what was the Knock Knock? Did you ever watch that?
Oh God, dude, I love that movie.
It's the shittiest movie. It's just
so
two girls
dumb.
come in, and the whole movie's worth a 15-minute scene of graphic sex between it's a threesome with her, another girl, and Keanu Reeves. And then the rest of the movie's about something. I don't know. I think they're trying to kill him, or maybe, or like they broke in.
They just ruined his
I was
life.
thinking about that like today, that it is such a funny thing that the difference between, sex scene in a movie, it's like actress, highest like level of thing, these people get knighted, the highest thing, where it's like slightly little more graphic, you're the bottom of the barrel porn star, like tiny difference.
It's amazing,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah, it's basically the credits of the filmmaker. Is what makes you a fucking
Legitimately, yeah.
That's what it is.
There was a movie that
They play it on the bigger the screen your sex is played on,
the more
the more legitimized it is.
Christine, look up, put up the words "The Club" movie about masturbating to tragedy. It never came out. It's one of the few movies I've seen trailers
They
for.
got you with the trailer. Never hit you with it.
This
But it's a director who's done other things. I'm trying to remember who it was, but it may be like Ty West. I think it's the guy who did what's a Human Centipede? The Onania Club. Go if you can find a trailer for it. They might have gotten rid of the trailer. It's just a gathering of women, old, young, it doesn't matter. And their thing is they just fucking jill off and watch 9/11.
Oh my God, really?
There it is. Yeah, to play this trailer. This is nuts.
They never released it, eh?
Nope.
Anna, would you like to tell me why you're here today?
Hot.
I should have been so happy. I had it all.
But I got
She's gonna get it.
She's like, I had it all, but now I have to blast off.
Come in.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's the bitchy old rich ladies.
Yeah.
Oh, Tommy 6. Yeah, that's who it is. She watches Nuremberg in the background of dinner.
The Metallica one video is playing every time she comes.
Human Centipede was a trilogy?
Yeah. You didn't follow the arc?
I just saw the first one.
I fell off halfway through number 2.
Wait, here she goes. They have to watch tragedy.
The Onania Club.
Oh, they have the sign.
Oh, I should get that tattooed on me. Oh, me? No, I'm going to go whack off to autopsies.
Every time a puppy gets put down, you fucking get a.
You did
But doesn't
say you
this
were
look like a movie you want to whack off to, though? Bunch of girls
Crazy.
friggin'
Wait. Wait, could you back that up?
It's 100% a movie a 12-year-old boy makes.
Yes.
Wait, watch this one.
They're masturbating to extreme poverty.
Yeah, look at this. It's like they got a
refugees
chubby
falling
chick
off
in
a
there.
boat.
They get a chubby chick in there, and they're all laughing at her. All jerking off, laughing at her, getting robbed.
They're gonna go look at sad Africans, and then masturbate.
Dude.
Yo, hashtag bring
real good.
Onania Club out.
Wow.
What happened? The funding got pulled?
He's like, oh, Jesus Christ, are you serious?
Yeah, they gotta go whack
Skeleton
off to
lady.
cancer patients.
They volunteer.
That's hilarious. They just went to a hospice and started beating their fucking clams. Oh, cancer, cancer.
I hope it's like Cuckoo's Nest Weird, where the whole movie's from the janitor at hospice.
That's a real good deep cut. So it never came out, eh? What happened to it?
It's in a vault.
The trailer wasn't well received.
I guess not.
Oh, dude, that's somewhere
Look
in
up why did the
Mar-a-Lago.
Onania Club never come out?
I mean, if Centipede guy, I can't,
Yeah, and
I
also,
wonder if
can
they
we
made a
start our own
choice.
Onania Club? Hey, you guys want to come over and fucking pound our cocks? I got a band from television DVD. It just showed up at the house. You guys want to watch people get hit by trains and fucking slam our dicks? Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I'm not gay.
I'm going to sit on a smart water bottle to Faces of Death.
I got a link on some Taliban proof of life.
Faces of Death was that was a moment in childhood where you're like, oh,
I didn't whack off to it with my grandmother off her bridge fucking canasta friends. Mom, you and your friends playing canasta?
Let me know when you're losing.
Yeah, let me know when you guys want to beat off. I just found some videos of like fish dying.
Fish die.
Your grandmother would have wanted this.
Just security footage of a vet.
You just can't find a distributor.
Let's do it. How much does it cost?
I mean,
What does it cost to distribute it? Christine.
Bonfire distribution.
I
Gas
don't know, can
Digital.
you just put anything on Amazon?
dude, there you go. Gash Digital's the place for it. Yeah.
Scuba Doo Productions, my production company.
Maybe he didn't make the film, he just made the trailer.
That would have been
Right.
brilliant.
Yes.
He goes, just
The market has changed.
I know.
When was the market
I looked at
that?
Reddit. Look at, are we giving up on it being released? I want to know how many people are in that
There's
subreddit.
still no word on distribution.
This guy's like, hello, am I the only one in here?
Market's changed.
Damn.
That's so
can't get
funny
it
that a lot of people are thinking the same thing you were.
Dude, imagine pitching that concept.
That is, you know what? That's always kind of disturbing when you have some random thought and then you go on and there's like a whole Reddit thread that had that thought. Like, you go, yeah, we meet up once a week to say that. You go, well, then I guess I'm
I
not
guess that's
original.
been done. Yeah. It's like, what about a teddy bear that tells the truth? Nah, we thought of it. Mark Wahlberg's all over it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I wanted to come out. What are other movies that
That's a film.
that's a-
other movies
yeah.
that are too controversial to be released?
I used to, I had a, there was
Oh,
a
there's
guy.
the director. I mean, couldn't look like more of a guy you do not want to hang out with at all.
Oh, he's just the worst.
Tom Six, the
Poor
guy who
man's
made,
Johnny Depp.
the
Yeah.
guy who made Human Centipede.
How do you get Human Centipede distributed?
Johnny
but
Shallow?
not that?
How do you get Human Centipede released? I'll tell you how. Elevator pitch. 3 people sewn together, asshole to mouth. One eats, one shits. They go. He went. Here's a blank check. Let me know what it turns out to when
He
you're
was
all
bringing
done.
that in.
They
So
go, listen.
he was making that. He was trying to make his second pitch sound better.
They're like, I don't love it, but it was a succinct log line.
He goes. Yeah. He goes. I don't know if I'm down with the a bunch of old ladies fucking flicking bean to a murder. And he goes. I got this thing about tying a Chinese guy's ass to another guy's face. He goes, I'm listening. He goes, and then the person's ass is connected to another person's face.
I haven't hung up. I haven't hung up.
Okay. He goes,
Is it how many people? Just 2. I'm out. There
No.
could be 3. I'm okay.
he goes, how do they shit? He goes, how do they shit? They shit in the one's mouth and then they swallow that shit into the other thing,
Nancy-
and then the shit goes into there, and then comes out the back person. He
Nancy,
goes,
cancel my 3 o'clock.
yeah. He goes, I'm already seeing the practical effects. I think we're going to do this a lot of practical effects. We're not going to do a lot of CGI.
Now, can I play the middle guy?
Yeah. So can we get John Favreau as the caboose?
Dude, if somebody was genius enough to remake Human Centipede and make
Cast
it
someone
all
as a prank?
but all new actors, except for like the middle person is a world famous. Remember how they made like
Lorenzo Lamas.
remember like Jerry Seinfeld was like a turkey on South Park once, or George Clooney. George Clooney played like a turkey, like a random one of the turkeys. Something like that. Just have the middle person that's going to be no talking lines. You never get to see them shit.
And introducing Catherine Zeta-Jones as number 2.
Denzel Washington is middle centipede.
And as the shortstop.
Well, the Human Centipede 3 I watched, it was starring Brie Olson, fresh off of her 6-month AIDS scare with fucking Charlie Sheen.
Oh, man.
And she was getting popular, so like they put her in this movie, and the guy who played the warden of this jail was great, but he was a crazy warden who loved the movies Human Centipede 1 and 2.
It's meta.
Yeah, it's meta. He loved the movies.
Scream style.
And so his dream was, so he made a 100-person Human Centipede in prison. All male prisoners.
Oh, prison food.
Christine, bring up the Human Centipede 3. 100-man.
Oh.
It took days.
I
That's just
only saw the
Salisbury
first
steak
one.
shits.
Sorry.
No.
I was watching the first one with a chick, like in a residence in a university.
The black and white one, right?
Oh.
No. The first one's color. The second one's black and white.
No, the first one's I don't think it's black and white.
Yeah, the first one's color.
It all happens in the one house.
Yeah,
right?
with the weird, like, kind of Germany-looking guy.
I guess.
Part
I've
two-
only seen the first one.
Part 2, I think they're both meta. I think 2 is a guy who watched the original movie.
But I popped that on to try to get pussy. That's what I'm saying.
You brought it over? You guy rented a movie?
I didn't know it was gonna be that great.
Something tells me that girl had fucking dimple piercings in her cheeks. That's who you go, Hey, you want to watch Human Centipede and get all worked up?
She had a dead doll tattooed on her thigh.
By the way, fucking a girl to Human Centipede is like being in the Onanita Club or whatever it's called.
Sure. Yeah, that's bad news for sure.
That's how it starts.
Imagine if you can only come if it's like kind of bad news, like somebody gets like a puzzle wrong on Wheel of Fortune. Oh! It's not horrible shit.
Took a wrong turn.
I'm gonna
Like a wrong
spin-
lotto ticket.
I'm
You're
going to
like,
spin
"Oh."
one. I know the answer to the puzzle, but I'm going to spin one more time. Bankrupt. Ha, ho, ha.
Like GPS recalculating. Ah,
I'm spilling. Yeah. I missed a turn. Ah.
Expired yesterday.
moldy bread. That is crazy.
Onania Club.
You know who I liked before she got work done, and now I can't even fucking watch her? Who's the fucking blonde porn star? You and I talked about this. She was
Physical work or
Physical work and her lips
Because I don't
and
like
Jessica
that one.
Rose.
Jessa
Rose.
Jessa Rhodes.
Yeah,
I
Christine
loved
too.
her. Loved her, and then she got way too much work.
Christine
done.
had a flat out crush on her when she did SDR show, and then got bummed out when she got big weird tits.
and big weird lips too. She got all fucking.
She went awful.
Yeah, dude, she was so hot before. She was up. She was one of my
That's a
faves.
shame.
She was one of my faves.
Nothing that's nothing like ruining your body with big tits. Like
I know the thing. You're like,
how do you mess that up?
Because you think like this is going to be the one thing that gets me over the top, and you're like, it's actually ruined everything.
She was
She had
fine.
like perfect B cups.
Yeah,
Like
they
they're
were great.
perfect, and then she just got weird D's, and you're like, what are you
You
doing?
know how you're like,
and then
you don't-
instead you don't even look like you had perfect ones before, so you don't even get credit for your originals.
Yeah, and then you spend the whole time looking for scars, and you're like, this is stupid. Then once I see the scars, it's like, that's not Santa. That guy's wearing a beard, you know?
And when
it
you
fucking
can't-
ruins it.
I like when you see the faint discoloration around the entire nipple. That you know at some point that nipple was just sitting on a fucking table.
Somebody milk jugged that thing,
Yeah,
dude.
and then he did this to just a tit made of fucking blood and muscle. He just did this with it, like moving it around. He goes, over here.
It just took a cake maker and just fucking filled it with dough.
When you get bad tit implants, I like. There were so many porn stars in the '90s just accepted it. They had like they would be like
Oh,
cross-eyed, like
Oh,
pointed,
yeah, way
and they
off.
were like, "Damn, dude," but they're just going like, "No, what are you talking about?" Because you could squeeze them in the dresses, and it still looks like big tits. But they would come off and have like,
Yeah, it looked like pool toys after a storm, dude.
it looked like
All over the
it looked like the Longhorns you put on front of a limousine if you're a fucking hillbilly.
It's fucking pointless.
They're all pointing the wrong way.
It's fucking cheap
I don't
satellites.
think they used to be able to do the keep up as well either. So around the 8-10 year mark, they really started looking wacky, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now they know how to.
Are they forever? Are they like to some?
You're supposed to do a 10.
gotta
I think
get
there's
them out
10
every 10
15 years.
Wow,
right?
they haven't perfected that, huh?
Yeah, or the ones.
It's like veneers.
That's a good point.
Also,
yeah.
the problem when they go all fours, and I said it looks like a ghost grabs their tits because of you see the bag lines
Yeah.
of like the tit implant. It looks like, it's such a weird look. It's like
That's a super weird
you
look.
see it from the side, and it's like it just like dents just happened like in the side of it, and you're like,
Yeah. That's like where a scalpel was rested.
Yeah.
You just made a mark.
pump it up, would you?
Fill that thing up, dude. It's time to
No,
go.
it's because the whole bag of water just went.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, this is this. How did he get all the other guards in? And I feel like if you were
Is
a
that
guard,
who? Wait, is that
It might be Zeus.
you'd tell the guards and
that
be like,
Ving
"Hey,
Rhames?
No, it's Zeus, dude. Tiny Lister.
Oh yeah.
why does the front guy probably?"
Well, Tiny Lister, you weren't going to
That's
get
really
his.
him, the
Yeah, you weren't
actor?
going to sew his fucking. You weren't going to sew his mouth to anyone's asshole. Zeus is in front.
front guy. you
Holy shit.
Eric
Roberts
is
was
in
in
this
it, yeah.
movie?
Roberts?
Yeah. Oh right, I forgot. He also, because 100 people, he knows he couldn't sew their face there, so he designed
Buying the
contract-
harnesses would be interesting. You go, I'm gonna need 100 harnesses. What
Yeah.
for? You go, it's the whole thing I'm doing.
Jesus.
Damn.
That guy is so great. The guy who plays the warden.
A Muslim behind a Jew, a Republican behind a Mexican.
Why are the other guys on board? That is what I don't get.
Because they blindly follow their warden, dude. It's called subservience.
It's a microcosm for politics, man. Bunch of sheep.
Everyone's just sucking the food out of someone else's asshole and shitting into someone else's mouth. Am I
Big
right?
old Salisbury steak puke shit cocktail.
I don't know about you, but I'm moving out of this fucking human centipede as soon as I can.
I think the moral of the story is crime doesn't pay. I think that,
Yeah.
I think this is a.
I think he gives them warning too, so you get to see him around the jail going like, well, tomorrow's human centipede day, boys.
Jeez.
He's so proud of his work, though.
Acting is a tough gig.
Huh?
That's a crappy extra
Acting is a
job.
tough-
You think you're just going in for a normal extra job?
Like the moment, like he's
Couldn't
one of
pay me.
like
Is that silent on camera pay, or how are we talking?
like number 73 goes home to his wife and he's like, listen, I know I was saying I might start a landscaping company because acting's not working out.
Probably take the bar job back
I got
again.
an offer, but hear me out.
I know we're playing in the hot desert, but it is fucking freezing out on that stage. And I got my fucking face in this guy's ass. I'm praying for a fart. Warm me up, would you?
Movie's great.
This is just insane.
But I tell you, acting is a rough job, Jacob, and you're right, because look how many people in this Human Centipede have like tats and shit, and like are all tatted up dudes that were like, dude, a gig's a gig.
That's it. That's what I mean.
saying-
It's like, can I wear a thermal?
You think it's all Tom Cruise and Margot Robbie. This is the reality of 99% of acting.
We're not all Kevin Hart in the theaters, dude.
We did a horror movie. There's the guy who owned a coffee shop near our studio when we were in Toronto, and he decided to make a horror movie, and he found the guy that did like Halloween 14 or whatever. And he hadn't made a movie in 15 years, found this guy, and like me and my friends were shooting it, so we just cast all us, and it was like a big joke for all of us. And then the guy who made Halloween, he was a French guy, and he like exploded, stormed off set, and he goes, no one's taking this seriously. Had like the biggest flip out. Then him and the other guy him and one of the 80s got in a fist fight on set.
Oh, is his name like Luc Besson or so? Yeah.
No, it was not Luc Besson. I would know the guy's name. It was a French name, 100%. I guess Luc's a bit of a French name, but this was like real French. That was the movie.
Wow, to be number 100 is the worst
Yeah,
spot,
number
right?
one's the best. Number 100. Well, can I tell you something? You'd think.
Well, no, yeah, it depends because you.
There's some element of it. Oh, look, he's wiping his little tussie for him.
Please follow me. for
Oh,
another
the
interesting
sounds, man.
insight.
Oh, they're doing it. They caught a shit at the back.
He caught a shit.
What, Jacob?
Does he run around?
Do you not
the
respect
front?
Eric Roberts? That guy was in Best of the Best, dude.
Dude, why?
Respected.
Yeah, but how could he do best of the best and then do this?
Yeah, because he was in Lords of Flatbush, dude, and he also was there when a guy pulled a turd out of a 100-man Human Centipede.
Eric Roberts inside the actor's studio. He's like, you remember him from Human Centipede.
Where were you, Big Shot, when the Human Centipede, the 100-man Human Centipede, finally committed their first pebble poop? Did we find a list of other movies that were like never came out because they were too crazy?
No.
There's got to be.
So the
some
Centipede guy
70s
made his 3 Centipede movies, started to do that, and then just sort of disappeared, eh?
I bet you there's got to be some
What has he made? What
weird,
else is Tom-
70s movies.
Check IMDb for Tom 6, see if anything else has come out, because...
He's crushing it in the corporate world. He just did the new White Claw commercial.
For
Yeah,
sure.
totally right.
I do. That bums me out so much when I see that. If you look up Rob Zombie, it's like the horror movies, and then it's like those Woolite commercials that he was doing for a
Gotta
while.
make money.
I know.
They offered him a lot, I bet.
Well, I think the idea was more that it was like make a Rob Zombie Woolite commercial. 'Cause
Woolite? Like the,
Yeah.
the delicate detergent?
Trust
Yes, Christine. Rob Zombie
They-
is
yeah,
in,
they
is
wanted
in
to
bed with big fucking fabric softener.
Big fat. Big snuggle. I think there was some movie about was there a movie that like the devil was driving a 18-wheeler that like chased a car through the desert? Do you remember this movie?
I think
Yes.
you're thinking of the Rob Zombie one, aren't you?
No, this is
No.
the early 70s. Like it was like a
70s?
Devil's
I
Rejects.
thought it was
That's what I was thinking.
70s.
Because I will say there was a vignette of a movie that was like an anthology movie when I was young that I loved called Nightmares. Emilio Estevez was in it.
That was
Did you
like
ever
a
see that? You remember that,
cat's eye.
Jacob? That's something you would remember.
Which one?
Nightmares. It was like an anthology, and it had one of the stories was Emilio Estevez, the Bishop of Battle, where he plays a video game and he finally gets to the final level. He sneaks into the arcade in the late night to play the game, but the final level, of course, it opens up, and then very shitty 80s graphics
Sure.
come out of it and come to get him.
Oh, I gotta see this.
It's pretty. But one of the stories in that was Lance Henriksen. You know who he is, right? Bishop from is a priest, and he's driving on the road, and he's being hunted down by a devil.
Driving an
18-wheeler.
18-wheeler.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
What's it called?
I can't.
And there was another vignette in that same one. That was a woman going to get cigarettes, and she was there was like a giant rat like loose in the neighborhood or something, and it was like crazy. It was pretty.
It's
wild.
like Cat's Eye. It's like one of those. That's great. Did you ever see Cat's Eye?
No, it's Cat's Eye.
Oh, dude, Cat's Eye was
Anthology
so great.
horror.
It's like a 3-part. There's 3 movies in one, and
But they're not movies because they're like 35
little
minutes
vignettes.
each.
But
yeah.
it's like one is young Drew Barrymore laying in bed, and this weird like gnome devil comes out of the wall and tries to steal her breath while she's sleeping. So he's going up and going like, and inhaling her exhales, and the cat is like the only thing that's like trying to save her from this fucking.
Oh.
And it just chases him around the room and shit. It's horrible.
And isn't
but
the
it's
other
incredible.
one? And the other one is
Quitting smoke.
Robert Hayes from Airplane.
Yes.
He's like a gambler, and he fucked. I think he fucked a rich guy's wife. So they tell him that he has to like. If they'll let him live if he can get around the entire building
On the
on the
outside.
ledge.
On the outside.
Yeah.
And there's a cat standing on the outside. And then there was another one where a guy's trying to quit cigarettes. I haven't
James
seen it in
Woods.
James Woods. And every time he lit a cigarette.
No. It was just they said like you come to us, you quit. You come to us and you quit smoking, and the idea and you come, but if you hire us, like you're hiring us.
Yeah, we're the real deal.
And that was and they was like, so he goes and he wants to smoke a cigarette, but then he starts realizing people are watching him every time he almost starts to, and then the big one, he just eventually does it. He sees a guy next to him, I think, in a car at one point.
Yep.
And the guy's like smiling with him, like they're kind of like laughing. He sees him like bopping to music, or with a hot chick, I think, Steven in the car with him.
That's right.
And then he's like, oh, now's my time. And he goes down and lights a cigarette. And then when he comes up from smoking, the guy who was with the hot chick is now just staring at him like this.
Gotcha.
And then, yeah, it's like the first thing is like they make your wife like
they electrocute her or something.
they electrocute her, and the next time you fuck up, they're gonna cut her fucking finger off or something.
Yeah,
Wow,
dude.
pretty wild.
Yeah, it's really awesome. And I remember it being on like a Saturday afternoon, and I
Horror
saw
movies
it
used
way
to get
too...
in the lexicon before,
Yeah,
and like thinner, like those things become. Can't tell you the last 10 years of horror movies that really stuck
yeah,
out into
there's
culture
not-
where
there's
people are
not
saying
many.
it.
TBS would throw on like, or TNT maybe early on would like throw on a Saturday afternoon horror movie would come on, and that was great.
Christine, would you be worried if you had to pay the price for me not smoking?
Yes. You fuck up.
Do you think I would
Fuck
just
up and you lie about it.
Do you think it's going to be some point where we're going to have an argument and you're going to hear us going, I'm going to say something like, oh my God, they electrocute you for 2 minutes. Like, fucking, come on.
You know how much shit I have to put up with?
Jesus Christ.
You're the reason I smoke.
Yeah. Well, I think you're putting a little bit of the chicken before the egg here. You don't act like a bitch. I don't smoke. You don't get
You
electrocuted
just
by the
mind
electric
fuck her
floor.
into go. She's electrocuting herself through your cigarettes.
Christine, I've had a really rough day. Would you mind just electrocute yourself on video for this guy so he knows it's happening?
Go take a bath with a
I don't feel
toaster.
like I don't want to go to the place.
Do you mind cranking out a few? Just I'm gonna rip a couple darts today.
Just cut to we're old people and I'm just holding a cattle prod every time I take a rip. Just go. Yeah. Sorry, hon.
Sign the contract.
Yeah, sorry,
Whoopsie-daisy.
babe.
This is a
Sorry,
forever
babe.
contract.
I had anthology horror was my jam. The last 10 years doesn't make any good stuff because they rely almost exclusively on CGI stuff. So it's not that
And
fun
it's
to watch.
every single one, and Netflix cranks out a lot of them, which is they go to a house, something spooky happens. That's
Yes.
they don't have any variations.
Oh, by the way, so many things called The Haunting of. If you type that
yeah.
in, you'll be 3 hours scroll down. Like, I don't care about the hauntings of.
Yeah, it's so lame. It's so lame.
Yeah.
I think I guess the black horror films they were popping for a bit.
Black
Key and
Hawk.
Peele guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he had a moment where he sort of brought it back to the mainstream.
Get Out was pretty good. I know, Jay. We have to go.
And
We
what
have
was the
to
stupid
we have
show
to
on
read
Netflix
ads.
during the pandemic that got huge? That was
Haunting of something.
Yeah.
It's always the haunting of something. Ryan Long's new special, Problem Solved, out right now, everybody. You could watch it the second I say this. It's over at youtube.com/@RyanLongComedy, @RyanLongComedy. Make sure you put comedy there at the end. youtube.com/@RyanLongComedy. New special, Problem Solved. Check it out now. He's absolutely hilarious. This weekend, Fenoya is going to be at the Comedy Connection in Providence, Rhode Island. Then Morris Plains, New Jersey, Nashville, Tennessee, Bloomington, Minneapolis. Bloomington, Indiana. And New Year's Eve, of course, at Comics Mohegan Sun, everybody. That's a fun night out. Take your lady out for a casino night.
Yeah.
Fight. Publicly fight.
Eat some Pepe's Pizza.
Yeah. For tickets, always go, and the mailing list also, go to punchup.live/Mike Fenoya, Finoia, and check out Mike's new podcast, Are We Old, wherever you get podcasts. And I'm going to be at Helium Buffalo, October 25th and 26th, Bricktown Comedy Club, Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm sorry. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. November 1st and 2nd, of course, doing the meet and greets afterwards, take pictures and say hi at the Red Dog. I should make it official, probably. After that, I'm going to be in Austin, Texas, Louisville, Kentucky, Houston, Philadelphia. For tickets and all tour dates, go to bigjcomedy.com. We'll be right back to say goodbye. It's The Bonfire.